Anakin's gone. I am what remains. I am not your failure, Obi-Wan. You didn't kill Anakin Skywalker. I did.
What's up guys, Jim Collector here. Thanks for stopping by to check out another unboxing and review video. Today we have something that I have been looking forward to for what feels like forever. We finally have the DX28 Darth Vader as seen in the Kenobi Show. Now, if you're as excited as I am, then there's not much more to say. Let's crack this guy open and see everything that he comes with. Alright, so here we have the box art, and Hot Toys have done an absolutely fantastic job on this DX figure. So obviously on the front we have Vader himself, fully kitted out in his battle damaged attire. So you can see the head sculpt up here, the battle damaged electronics down here as well. Of course you've got this nice wraparound slip as well. Picture of Vader here on the side. All the kind of whodunits and legal information's on the back. And that's pretty much it for the outer box, but that's not where the most exciting part of the packaging lies, and that is actually within this box, if I can get this thing off, below. So here we go, so here we have underneath the slip cover, and this box art right here is beautiful. You've got the nice silvery metallic Star Wars logo here. Obviously you can see Kenobi and Vader here, as well as the Inquisitors down here, of which we have two, Reva and the Grand Inquisitor. It'll be interesting to see if we get the other two at any point, but I am not holding my breath for that. Obviously you can see the Inquisitorius over here. On the sides we have again Darth Vader Deluxe in that kind of fancy metallic silvery writing, and of course Disney down the side here, and then a bit more detail on the back, again in that same metallic-y writing, and then your Star Wars bit here. This slips out just like so to reveal some more artwork inside. There we go. So obviously we have our top cover here, which if you've had a few DXs in the past, you'll be familiar with. More nice artwork here. You got Vader and Kenobi engaging in battle here, and then the two characters up top, as well as a bit of information and also a nice quote as well. The key quote from the Kenobi Show: "Anakin is gone, I am what remains." Absolutely love that quote. So we slip this off, bosh, and there we go. We have Vader right front and center. So straight away he is in his battle damage helmet. We can see his chest piece, his non-battle damage chest piece. His battle damage one's on the figure, so he's already kitted out in his battle damage attire. And then we've got the Grand Inquisitor holo here as well. Gonna slide this on out. I'm going to slide this off, and that reveals more accessories. So these are all of Vader's hands. I'm not going to go through all of these quite in detail, but you can see here that the detailing is quite nice. You can see the nice markings through here, the grasping hand. You can tell it's a glove. They've got creasing throughout the fingers as well. You can see that on the camera here. So these are very nicely done. This is obviously a force grasping hand. What else do we have? These are the force grasping hands. We've got two force grasping hands. Oh, this is kind of a force grasping hand as well, no? Surely it is. Different, okay, definitely choke hands. There we go, got it right eventually. Choke hands, and then you've got your various lightsaber wielding hands, and a standard fisted hand as well. Although, yeah, that's just a standard fisted hand there, and then your two saber hands. So, a good amount of handage for our boy Darth Vader. Now, before we get to the figure itself, and I know you guys are excited to get stuck into that, let's look at this next tray. So obviously we have the DX28 Darth Vader instruction sheet, which I might check out, but the typical dude I am, I never read instructions. This is his cape here. So I'm gonna slide this on. Comes nicely packaged in, well, is it nicely packaged in? It's just in a plastic wrapping, to be fair. But I'm determined to give you guys a full unboxing experience. So this is his cape. It is reversible. Slide this off here without breaking it. It's got a good bit of weight to it as well, quite a lot of heft, so it should suit quite nicely as a draped cape. So it's got the pleather material up the top. Seen a lot of complaints about the fact that it is pleather, and it's a good pleather. Like, it looks like real leather, but I have been told it is pleather, which is disappointing, but hopefully it's good quality and holds up and stands a test of time. But obviously we can see there is the slash on the back here, if you can see that on camera. So you can see the slash, and this is reversible, and then you can have it without the slash on the back like so. So yeah, that is Vader's cape. Also in here, let's slide this out and move the box out of the way. We have the various stands. Now this is the deluxe, which comes with 2 stands. I believe the standard version just comes with the one. Do not quote me on that though, I could be completely wrong. So there we go. So also, as well as our hands, we do have the various lightsaber hilts, which I'll go through in just a sec, but I just wanted to touch on this base real quick, because the interesting thing I noticed about this base is I feel like I've seen it before, and it looks like the Endgame Iron Man base. Guys, correct me if I'm wrong, but this looks like the same base with a bit of a repaint. I hope I'm wrong. It's been a while since I've owned the Endgame Iron Man figure. I wish I still had it to compare the 2 bases to, but it just looks really similar. Now the paint works nice on this. It's got good dry brushing throughout. The stones look like stones and the gravel looks like gravel as well. So it's a nice piece to kind of reenact. I don't know, is it even similar to that fight scene? I thought that was more of a sandy. No, I suppose it was quite rocky. So potentially that would reenact the final fight between, well, the penultimate fight between Vader and Kenobi. Then of course we have this big chunky beast down here. So this is the deluxe base, which has light up features. It's very, very nice. I'm not gonna lie. I love the Empire motif throughout. It looks like it could be from a Death Star or a Star Destroyer, which is nice. Really good metallic paintwork throughout all of this. Of course, when I get this set up, I'll have a look at the light effects. It is USB-C, so it does just plug in, so we don't need to worry about any damn batteries. The only thing I have, and this is a small issue, is it's really chunky. That might just be a me thing, but I just feel like it's really big and blocky, and although it will make Vader a great centerpiece, it doesn't really fit with any other bases I have, and I'm not a big base user. So I might display Vader on this, or I might find another use, because it is hard to pass up. Also in here, we do have the crotch grabber, if I can get that out. So you got your standard crotch grabber here that we've seen for figures similar to this before. Lots of different figures come with this. But yeah, your basic crotch grabber right there. We do have in here the piece, oh, I can't even get that back in, we use for the one movable eye on the battle damage head sculpt. So that's that bit there. We have the power box, which will allow us to light Vader up. This will just clip onto his belt. And then over here, we have the 2 parts of Reva's saber. So this is obviously from, I think it's the second to last episode, where Vader and Reva fights, and he cuts her lightsaber in half and then wields the 2 pieces against her. So yeah, so that's the, do you know what? Let's go through this a little bit in more detail. It's nicely done. I don't care much for this saber design for the Inquisitors. I never really have. I don't know why, it's just never really stuck out to me. I like that it's double-ended, but the pieces are nicely done, well painted. They've got a good metallic sheen. I do like the black and silver, which is kind of reminiscent of Vader's own lightsaber. Perhaps that's where the design ideas come from. And it keeps a colour motif of the black and silver that the Inquisitors tend to have. But yeah, enough on that. Let's put those back. And then, of course, we do have the 2 Vader sabers, like so. And these are nicely done. So we've got the standard non-powered saber with the D-ring on it, which will connect to his belt, or you can have him wielding. Then of course you've got the USB-C powered saber as well. And the work on these is really nice. The benefit of Vader's saber is it's quite large. The hilt is massive compared to some other sabers that I've had, obviously other than Darth Maul. So it's nice because of the size, the detail work they put into these is really good. So yeah, definitely happy with these. All right, I'm going to save you all from going through the different saber blades. We have the standard swooshing blade, and then you've got the two shorter Reaver blades, and then Vader's own blade as well. What we're going to do now is we're going to finally get Vader out and have a look at him. Alright guys, and here he is, Darth Vader. So we've gone through the hands. Before we hit the figure itself, just because I like to keep you guys waiting, we can have a look at the non-damage head sculpt. And this is the first Vader I've ever owned, so I wasn't really sure what to expect on these, but it is nicely done. It's got that nice shiny glossy black paint. It looks menacing. The details throughout the mask are really well done. The helmet is not removable on this one. You can see the neck connector in here, but yeah, absolutely fantastic. Really excited to have Vader in 1/6 form, and he looks super menacing. So nice work on this. The question is, and I'm going to be fighting this every day, clean or battle damaged? Because I only have one. This is the question, clean or battle damaged? We will see. You've also then of course got the Grand Inquisitor right here on his the hologram of the Grand Inquisitor, which I'm glad to have as well, because obviously I have the Grand Inquisitor and I've got him posed up holding the holo of Vader because I think that looks like a nice pose. I probably won't do the same in Vader, but I might mirror them. We'll see. We'll see. And finally, Vader himself. Just going to get the rest of this tray out of the way. All right, so when he comes, he obviously has styrofoam everywhere, covering on the boots. So we'll slide that off one by one. And he did have some plastic on the head sculpt, which I've removed already, just when I was doing an initial check onto this piece. But there we have it, guys. So this is the battle damaged Vader, or the Kenobi Vader, I should say, rather than battle damaged. And the detail of the work on this is beautiful. You can see the saber marks throughout his battle damaged chest piece here. This does also still light up, which I really like. You can see scratching, scuffing, weathering all along the belt here as well, which is fantastic. And also all around these as well, these all show signs of wear. You can kind of see it in the light there, and tear as well. So he's been an active boy. He's not just been chilling, not doing any of the work himself. He's been actively hunting Jedi down at this point, and he's after Kenobi. I'm going to call this a diaper piece because, let's be honest, as menacing as this guy is, this just kind of looks like it. Has a really nice, again, I believe it is pleather, but it's got really nice detail work to it. You can see the creasing around it, so it looks like real padding as well, which is absolutely fantastic. And the belt, I believe, is pleather as well. So it's a nice pleather material. Well, I say nice. And I believe the rest of the suit might be that pleather as well. In terms of articulation, he's got nice splitting here on his armor piece. So you can get his arm up just past... Oh no, you can get quite high up actually. Yeah, you can get it quite high up. So for Vader, that's actually pretty good mobility. It's probably better to lift this up and then raise his arm, because you don't want this dragging against this material as well. He's obviously got as close to a double bend in the arm as you can get. Double bend in the knee, or as close to as you can get. His legs stick out back about that far, and then forwards you can probably get a bit more than this. But this bit here does block it, so you might want to maneuver it up and around. There is an attachment that attaches this up to the back of the belt. You can see that, which gives it a bit more of a diaper feel, if I'm being honest. The boots are really, really nicely done as well. I love what they've done with the boots. You've got more styrofoam up here, but you've got this armor bit to the shin, and it's disconnected from the boot, so it makes for 2 pieces, which gives you a bit more range of motion. You've got a good amount of up and down, and then there's a good side to side movement on that boot as well, but not a huge amount, but just enough to pull off some dynamic poses. The boots themselves, really nicely done. And again, all the stitching, all the details, just as an entire suit, looks absolutely fabulous. Now let's see if I can get this camera to punch in on that head sculpt a little bit. There we go, look at that sculpt. Absolutely fantastic. Now to access the movable eye, you just pop the helmet off like that, and you can see then the damage work throughout here, which shows the rest of his mask underneath, which isn't massively detailed, and obviously you've got these pieces on top, so you wouldn't ever display him like this. But then behind him here is the movable eye system, so you can put that tool in there and move the eye around. It's probably difficult for you to get your finger in there, but yeah, you don't have to use that tool, you can use your hand. So there we go. So that's a Vader bit, and I have to say, just all the detail, all the scratching here in his head sculpt, the yellow of the eye, all the pitting around the grey skin, the shadowing around his eye as well, gives him that really evil look. And you can even see the beginnings of the mouth down in there as well. So I wonder if you were able to remove this, and you probably couldn't without breaking it, how much of a sculpt do they have over here, or is it just a part sculpt, is what I'd be interested to see. And then on the back, you can see the cables are already connected for the various different light up functions. So this will be for the chest piece, I imagine. This will be for sabers as well. I believe so anyway, because the helmet doesn't light up. So I imagine these are for the sabers. And then this would be for the chest piece. But yeah, all right guys, so that is Vader. That is the deep dive we'll take into him. We're gonna pop this helmet back on, and then guys, what we're gonna do is we're gonna get him into some poses and we'll see what he looks like. Just gonna leave that off for a sec. So stay tuned and we'll check out some poses. All right, so here we have pose number 1. So I've started off with his battle damage poses because obviously that's how he comes across. So you can see this is just after he's been injured. I've got kind of a leaning forward pose to kind of really emphasize the fact that Obi-Wan has basically just effed this guy up. So yeah, you can see him leaning forwards. You can see that gnarly damage down his face sculpt and also on the chest as well. Let's take a bit of a closer look. So I do have the light up effects on this as well. So you can see where the broken chest is lit up, his lightsaber hilt, and a bit on the belt as well. So all in all, a really nice pose. This is probably how I'll have him displayed, because in the show he doesn't do much after he's damaged. He just kind of stumbles after Obi-Wan and just like calls out his name viciously after admitting to killing his Anakin self. So yeah, nice pose, good to start off with. And now we're going to crack on to a quick look at the light up effects, similar to the Grand Inquisitor we've seen before. Alright, so here we have pose number 2. This is a bit more of, I suppose, your traditional Darth Vader pose. Not much different from the initial pose, just now he has his lightsaber back up and ready. This is probably something I would consider to use for some figure photography later on, just because I reckon this will make for a really nice headshot for this guy. But you can see he's kind of leaning forwards. Here you can really see, and I really like how that battle damage head stands out here. You can see the yellow glow in the eye and just the grey damaged, scratched up skin beneath as well. And he's got that real evil look. This is an absolute standout, I think, on this head sculpt for Vader, and it just really captures a lot of what the character is. So here, that's pretty much all there is for this pose. You can see that lightsaber damage down the back of his cape. Obviously there's a bit of warping there where I've got the light effects plugged in. But I think what we're going to do now is we're going to switch him out for his clean look and see how that looks. Clean Vader. So for this pose, I've gone for something a bit more empowering. So this is Vader at the height of his powers. He hasn't been damaged through battle damage. So I think this really captures it and kind of is a bit reminiscent of ESB as well. So this light up base creates a really nice effect, and it's actually quite bright, which I'm quite impressed with. So I've kind of gone from not loving this base to completely changing my mind on that. So there we have it. That is the DX28 Kenobi Vader. For me, for a rating, I'm going to give this a good 9 out of 10. I think it's absolutely fantastic. Loses a little bit of points because of the pleather material, and also one small thing, the hands were a nightmare to get onto those wrist pegs. But other than that, I have got absolutely zero complaints. Maybe they could have included a wide cape. That might be something to add on as a custom later on. But yeah, a 9 out of 10 for this figure, guys. Thank you for stopping by and checking out this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please drop a like and subscribe below, and hope to see you in another video again soon. See you later.